convey my deepest condolences, particularly for my family and for my brother, who unfortunately couldn't be here. He's a twin brother of Mike, I heard, and a son of Bill in spirit with design, and I'm sure he as well knows all the projects that he works on and worked on, and he really wanted to be here. My own experience with Bill is quite interesting. I did not study industrial design. I was a student at U of I in the Art and Architecture department from 72 to 76. That department had architecture and art, and ultimately we all studied foundation, where we got all these different teachers. And they were designers and photographers of great rapport, and many of them studied at the ID school or the Illinois Institute of Technology. And at that time it was really on the forefront of design and all the great buildings that we were seeing in downtown Chicago. So seemingly I was on the fringe, not having any classes for him, but Bill was really sharp. And I was fortunate in getting a job with what was called OIR, Office of Instructional Resources. And there we developed and produced films and videotapes. Okay, this is 1970s videotapes on different things on campus. And Bill suggested me to videotape Buckminster Fuller. My very first freelance job as a videographer was videotaping Buckminster Fuller.
How cool is that?
And I was in awe. I was, there were so many of us at the university and A&A, and I must have impressed him one way or another, or my brother was also there, but nonetheless, I'll never forget. Now saying this, I should start my resume saying I videotaped Buckminster Fuller. And then not many years ago, maybe a year or two afterwards, Bill had his eye once again on me. And this was a project in 1975-76. It was called Art in the Woods in Peoria. And it was designers and artists teaching young kids in rural America art. Art, not just art, but design. And once again, I had the good fortune to be there, to experience all the great work and what the great work that he inspired the kids to produce. And I think to this day, do the math, right? It's still going on. They're teaching kids out in rural America how to create art that's sensible, that's part of the earth, and it will be remembered for a long time. I could go on as well, particularly through my brother. He helped build things that Bill designed, and more recently I had the good fortune to work with Bill and his daughter, Lisa, of course.
Tell them who your brother is.
Oh, I'm sorry, my brother is Oliver Pupatic.
Oliver, everyone knows Oliver.
Everyone knows Oliver, good for you.
And tell him where Oliver is.
Oliver is in Serbia, visiting relatives there, and he took a little jaunt to Croatia. And I don't know if you know, Yugoslavia used to be one country, now they broke it up. And Serbia, Croatia, Montenegro, and each of them has their own borders. And so he visited a friend in Croatia, and wanting to go back to Serbia, he says, well, what about your vaccine? He says, well, I have a vaccine, but you have to have another test. And so the test was like $80, $100. And so he eventually did make his way back to Belgrade. But then the officials say that you can't travel out of the country, you can't go on the airport or on an airplane for another week. So he's there 104 degars in Belgrade.
And he wanted to be here.
Yeah, he really wanted to be. I can't tell you how bad. I just, was it good? I texted him a photo from here. But anyways, he's building cabinets there on his free time for a friend. And but not more importantly, but just as important, Bill had his eye on me a few years ago and introduced me to his son-in-law. I'm sorry, son-in-law. And, pardon?
We just like brothers.
Yeah, we're like brothers.
Yeah.
And Lisa, of course, and working on the documentary of John Primer and his New Deal band, and
Yeah.
it's been just a wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful experience. And Bill, we're like working together, so it's like we never missed a beat.
No.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Miracle.
Now we're going to hear music from the family. So